Hello everyone, this video is going to be all about the best ways to farm each of the upgrade materials in Demon's Souls. You're going to need a ton of shards and quite a few chunks for each weapon that you want to upgrade to max. A lot of the upgrade materials can be bought from various merchants throughout the game, and sometimes that's actually the best way to farm them. So I'm going to show you guys a really quick and easy way to farm up a lot of souls. Go to the Ritual Path Archstone in the Shrine of Storms and just kill the first Reaper there. If you want, you can also go out the illusory wall on the side and kill the Black Skeleton. With the Ring of Avarice and Silver Bracelets equipped, you can get over 15,000 souls every time you do this. You can find the Ring of Avarice down by the Man Centipede nest when it crashes to the floor, or it can be purchased from the once noble Mistress for way too much money. The Silver Bracelets can be found on the first floor of the Prison of Hope, right next to the fluted armor. However, it can only be worn by female characters, so sorry boys. Before we get started, as always, I'm going to go over the few things you can do to raise your item discovery to maximize your chance of getting any of these drops. The first thing you can do is equip the Providential Ring, which you get in character creation, which will now give 41 item discovery after the update, as opposed to the 21 that it did before. You can also make the Large Sword of Searching using any of these weapons upgraded to +8 with the Old Hero's Soul. This is going to double your base item discovery stat while you have it equipped. It can be in your left hand, right hand, you don't even need the stats to wield it. You can also use gold coins, which are dropped by the Fat Official. These things will boost your base item discovery by 32, which means that the Large Sword of Searching will double that 32 into 64. Lastly, you're going to want to have all your world tendencies as close to pure black as you can get it, because that's going to increase your drop odds even further. Being in the blacker tendencies is also going to spawn these black phantoms, which have the highest drop rate of upgrade materials. For any of the stones that you can farm off of Crystal Lizards, I'm going to put up a little picture of a Crystal Lizard next to the stone name. I've already made a Crystal Lizard guide, so a link to that will be down below. I'm going to have timestamps in the description for all the different stones, so I'm sure you're looking for something specific, go click to it, and I'll see you there. First we have Hardstone and Sharpstone shards. These can be farmed really easily off of like the Phalanx babies, I'm not sure what they're called, but they have a very high drop rate of the shards, and they can also drop the large shards. However, for shards and large shards, they can also be purchased from the Filthy Man in the Stonefang Archstone. He sells the normal shards for 500 apiece, and the large shards for 1500 apiece. Hardstone and Sharpstone chunks are dropped from the Scale Miners in Stonefang, and the quickest way to farm these up is just to go to the Armor Spider Archstone, run down the tunnel on the right side, and kill all the miners there. For pure Hardstone and pure Sharpstone, you can find them both on a single body inside the Crystal Lizard's nest. Clearstone shards and chunks can be farmed off of the Spies in 1-3. This alley section has the highest concentration of them, and it's really easy to go back to the Archstone to reset once you kill them all. Pure Clearstone can only be obtained from doing the third part of Astrava's questline, or by killing Crystal Lizards. Greystone shards, chunks, and pure Greystone can all be farmed off of the Rockworms in Stonefang. Start at the Flame Lurker Archstone, then just run backwards and kill the 2 groups of 3. You can get a pure Greystone from finishing Scurvy the Wanderer's questline. All he needs from you is to bring him the Dragon Bone Smasher. You can get that at pure white tendency in the Dragon God boss fight immediately on your left side when you enter the fight. Once you have it, just show it to him and he'll give you the stone. Bladestone is farmed off the skeletons in the Shrine of Storms. The best way to farm this is to start at the Adjudicator Archstone, then just run backwards and kill all the skeletons on the cliff. Alright, Dragonstone is probably the most annoying of all of these to farm for because they are only dropped by bear bugs, which have ridiculous health pools and defense. They're really only weak to magic, so if you aren't running a magic build, you should probably go stock up on Sticky White Slime. That can be farmed really easily by the Luminescent Slugs in front of the Old Hero boss fight. Once you're ready, you pretty much just go to Stonefang and kill all of them that you can. You're almost guaranteed a shard every time you kill one, but the drop rates for chunks are very, very low, and they're only from the larger bear bugs. The giant bear bugs can drop pure Dragonstone, but the drop rate is so low it's really not worth going for. You can find 2 pure dragon stones already in the game, one on the lava inside the bear bug nest, and the other from killing the dragon god. I really hope those are the only 2 you need, because farming these guys for a pure is hell. All 3 levels of Sucker Stone can be farmed very easily off of the slugs right in front of the old hero boss fight. Just start it as Archstone and run backwards into the cave and keep killing till you have enough. There are 2 pure Sucker Stones you can find lying around. The first one is in the first section of the swamp. Walk all the way to the other end until you get to the fog gate, and it's along the wall to your left. The second one is in Maiden Astraea's boss room, and it's this item right here. All 3 levels of Mercury Stone are dropped by the man centipedes in Latria. This one has one of the longest runs because you're going to have to run all the way down to the swamp level in Latria every single time. But these guys have very high drop rates and it shouldn't be too long until you have enough. There's 1 pure Mercury Stone on a body in Maiden Astraea's boss room, and it's this one right here. Marrow Stone is another very rough one because it's only dropped by the flying mosquitoes in the swamp or the giant ticks in the depraved chasm. Personally, I found way more success farming this stuff off of the ticks than the flies, and the easiest group to go kill would be starting at the Leechmonger Archstone and running backwards to a group of 3 ticks. You're gonna have to kill one of these Big Berthas along the way, but it's really the safest and fastest way to do it. If you want to keep going to the other ticks in the level after that, be my guest, but I think it's a lot quicker and safer just to reset after killing these 3 each time. Maiden Astraea's boss room also has a pure Marrow Stone sitting on a body here. Moonstone is probably the most unforgiving one to farm in the game, because there's a limited amount of chunks and pure you can get a playthrough. Shards can be farmed very easily off of prisoners in the Prison of Hope. The quickest way would be to run immediately to the right, go up the stairs, and then on the left side you're going to find a cell with a huge group of prisoners that will not aggro onto you. Just keep killing these guys over and over again until you have enough. Chunks, however, can only be dropped by the prisoners in 3-2, and the catch is, there are only 2 groups of 4 prisoners in 3-2. They're the guys holding up the chains. And if you kill all of them, they will not respawn, meaning that you cannot farm any more Moonlight Stone chunks. This means that, unless you're going to go for all the Crystal Lizards, the only way to farm these would be to run all the way to that first group of 4 prisoners, kill only 3 of them, and then reset, and keep doing that. It's a massive pain and maybe even a developer oversight, because you literally cannot progress through this level if you want to farm these guys. Moonshade Stone is only dropped by the Reaper enemies in the Ritual Path section of the Shrine of Storms. There are only 3 of these guys in the entire level, so I would recommend you just keep killing the first one and resetting. This also, coincidentally, is the same way to farm up souls really quickly, and Grave Robber Blige will sell these shards to you for 3,000 apiece. So after you kill the Reaper for a while, you can just start buying them off of him to finish up. Faintstone is another one that can be very difficult to farm for, as it's only dropped by the depraved ones in the Valley of Defilement. The best possible way to farm the shards and chunks is by taking this little path here and killing all of the shaman depraved ones along the way. They have a very high drop rate of shards and a decent drop rate of chunks. Pure Faintstone can be farmed off of the giant depraved ones, however it's extremely rare. A much easier one that you can get is just from talking to the Acolyte of God sitting there in the Nexus. If your faith is 20, she'll give you one for free. Spiderstone shards and chunks can be farmed off of the Miners and Stonefang, so take that same miner route that I showed earlier. The only non-crystal lizard pure Spiderstone you can get is from killing the Armor Spider boss, which shouldn't be too much of a problem as it's one of the earlier bosses in the game. Last up is pure Cloudstone, and this is another annoying one. The best place to farm it is at the Storm King Archstone. Just kill all of the mana rays flying around there, and they all have very high drop rates of Cloudstone shards, but they have very low drop rates of chunks. They can drop pure Cloudstone, but it's incredibly rare, so I recommend just taking the free one you get from killing the Storm King itself.